So to start off, artificial intelligence. Is this important? Why are we talking about it at this conference? Well, it must be. We've dedicated some significant time, and we've got some extremely knowledgeable people following me. What I'm here to do is to get you excited. I want you to think about AI. I want you to be Googling AI, because pretty soon AI is going to be Googling you. So Elon Musk, he's a popular guy tonight. We're going to see a lot of him, I think, in the future. He's a big kind of cautionary with AI. He thinks we only have about a 5% chance of creating safe super AI. I don't want to tell you what the other percent leads to, but it could be bad for us if we aren't controlled and cautionary at what we do. With that being said, is it important? I think it's so important where we are as a species, the challenges we face, population growth, environmental concerns, climate change. We've done some things to this planet that are almost unrecoverable. We need a big step forward. We need AI and the advantage it will give us in solving these problems. So I'm not going to talk about this. I think we all know what this is. I'm not going to talk about this. We can talk about it later. Actually, this is a courier company. They delivered my Emirates ID. So I'm not going to talk about this for some of the older generation. What I am going to talk about is not a new discussion. It's a very ancient debate. As far as we look back, people have conceived mechanical people. We've conceived the machine-man connection. Even the Greeks back thousands and thousands of years ago had a being called Talos, who was a mechanical Iron Man. The term artificial intelligence came about in the mid-1950s, really based upon the works of Alan Turing and some of the amazing computer advancements that we saw. And when those started coming out, we thought, we're going to be like this in the future. I want you to be excited about becoming a cyborg. Maybe not like this, it's a bit scary, but I want you to be excited because you're almost there. You're almost there. Every one of you have a cell phone in your pocket. Maybe 2, maybe 3. If you have an ATH, you know that cell phone is basically surgically attached to their hand. It's hard to get it away. But from a social perspective, we are so reliant on that technology. We are so reliant that I'm having a panic attack if I'm away from my cell phone for an afternoon. Socially, we are cyborgs with those cell phones and the information that it provides us. But it's also quite amazing what we can achieve with that. If you look back 30 years ago, and if I asked you a very random question, like, who is Arthur Dent? You could look on your phones and do it, and whoever finds out, shout it out, and I'll give you a high five. So tell me who Arthur Dent is. Well, it wasn't a geek test, but the thing is, that would have taken us 20 minutes. Would have taken us maybe an hour if you didn't know the information already. I could look up very complex mathematical questions in a matter of seconds, have the answer, thanks to the internet and the information we have access to. So be excited about being a cyborg. So talking about real AI, and I'm going to use some very simple concepts that people can understand, but I'm not going to get into technical. If anybody knows this game, it's not checkers. It's a very old game called Go. And the thing about AIs is the developers seem to like to teach them to play games. So Go is a very interesting game. More moves than there are atoms in the entire known universe in this game. So it's very complex. And Google and their DeepMind project with AlphaZero have taken this game, given it to a closed system AI, no instructions other than the rules of the game, and asked it to learn. It learned by itself. It learned to play the game for about a month. So we've been playing it for 3,000 years. And then AlphaZero picks it up for about a month and masters it. Not just good enough to beat us once in a while. Every single time a human tries to play, we lose. Every time another supercomputer tries to play it, it loses. Not 10 to 0, 100 to 0, thousands to 0. It's unbeatable. What if we applied that to engineering? What if we applied that type of learning capability to engineering? I think we're almost there. I think we're going to see these deep learning neural network systems having a capability to exceed all of our engineering capabilities in a matter of years. I know it's a bold statement, but it's happening. Should we be afraid? Who's an engineer? Engineers? Okay. Don't be afraid. You're not going to get replaced by a machine. When this computer came out, I guarantee all the accountants were very afraid of that machine. They thought they were going to be replaced by a computer. Do we have less accountants nowadays? Unfortunately, not. Sorry for the accountants in the room. We have a lot of accountants doing a lot of very complex things, a lot of creative things with those computers. And that's what we're going to see. So the engineers, you're safe, but you're going to have to evolve. You're already cyborgs, almost. You're becoming more integrated with technology. What we need is the augmented designer. Augmented with peripherals like this, getting rid of the mouse and keyboard, being able to talk to the AI that's augmenting our capabilities, to tell it how we feel about what it's doing, and also to change our roles. So we've got engineers in the room, we've got developers, we've got material suppliers, manufacturers, contractors, any musicians, artists. Those are going to be the designers of the future as well, not just people that went to school for engineering, because that part's going to be a bit easier with this augmented capability from the AI. So we're going to have a bit of a revolution, a bit of a renaissance of information, a digital renaissance, similar to what we had back in the kind of age of reckoning when science was first conceived. Science, technology, but also art, music, those sorts of things flourished during that time. We're achieving that where we can start focusing on the building, not as a functioning building, but as part of our being. And you think, well, how can a computer help us be closer to a building? But it will, because we're going to be in control. We're going to be able to take simple things that we didn't think we could improve on. So it's a mechanical part, nothing fancy, but every car has one, or 6, or 12 for some people in the room. And we can start making it look like this. So this is called generative design, and it's an AI-influenced type of design. So what has it done? It's made it lighter, faster, cheaper, better. And we can do that with anything. We can do it with something as simple as this. The IKEA chair. I can't believe they still make these. This is the most uncomfortable chair. If you have to sit in this for more than 30 seconds, that's it. But it doesn't fit anybody. But in a matter of minutes, we can scan somebody, run it through some generative design, and you have your own unique chair. Everybody in this room, within a matter of days, could have a unique chair design that fits them, that's comfortable. What if we took that and pushed it to, say, the room, or your house, or your city? Now we're starting to really become in touch with the designs. We're becoming in control of the design. We're no longer engineering, because engineering takes a lot of time. Engineering takes a lot of effort. And there's a lot of checks and balances that have to go into engineering. So what's next? What do we need to do? Well, first thing, this is hard for everybody. We need to let go. Let go of everything you think you know about engineering, everything you think you know about design, just for a little bit. You're going to need it. It's obviously important, but let go for a little bit. architects, engineers, contractors, authorities. There's going to be a lot of change coming. We're going to see things like 3D printed buildings, new materials, strange materials, materials being used for applications we didn't think they should be used for. And it's going to scare us. It's going to be a bit of a new journey, a bit of a new exploration for everybody. What we have to understand is the AIs, the generative design, is going to be based on math, physics, everything that we use for the engineering. The codes will have to be rewritten. And we're going to have to challenge the status quo of everything we do in the industry, from materials to the way we look at designs, to the way we use these buildings. And you need to embrace the change, because the people that are going to be making these designs are going to be the video game generation, our children. They're going to go to school, and they're going to learn how to interact with the AIs. They won't be going to school learning about engineering, per se. They're going to learn how to interact and collaborate with other people. They're going to learn to interact, to embrace change in our world. So yeah, if your kids want to go home and play Fortnite, it might be okay, because we're going to be able to augment their capabilities as engineers to do what we need to do on the design front. But we're going to have an absolute explosion of creativity released by this capability. We're going to see the hopes and dreams that we think of, the sketches, the architects. Grimshaw do some amazing sketches. All the architects in the room, some of those sketches, look at it and say, I can't build that. There's no materials, there's no process. We can. But also the future, we're not quite sure what's going to happen. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know if this building is going to be beneficial for the next 100 years in its current use. But what if we can make sure that we kind of hedge that bet? Now, I want everybody that's in development to be commercially successful. That's very important. There's no fun in doing anything if you can't make some money doing it. So what if we could guarantee, through an augmented design, through a collaborative process of engineering, that building will be useful, commercially viable for the next 100 years, 200 years, 500 years. Hopefully we can learn to live that long as well. Yes, we're going to make some amazing things. We're going to make some amazing buildings. But what about us? What do we get out of this? Well, we get better designs, and we get better designers. I, for one, know a lot of engineers that spend a lot of time doing some very difficult things. Do we need them to do that? Probably not. In the future, they can go to the beach with their kids. We can all spend a few more days on holiday, and we can work to be collaborative in the engineering that we all produce. But also, a thriving society. So I opened the talk talking about all the challenges we face. Climate change is a big one. Population growth, urbanization. More people are moving into our cities. How do we control that? How do we make sure that they thrive as a society? Psychologically, cities have a demand on people differently than living in more urban areas. So we want to create a thriving global society, augmented through AI, move away from engineering, and move forward to be creative. Thank you.